Okay. Hi guys. So today we're going to be looking at a few questions that you could get asked on the topic atomic structure and the periodic table. So as we can see, the main focus will be on topic 1, and this is related to AQA. Now we're going to go just right ahead and get started on the first question. So these are just similar questions to the kind of questions you get in the exams. Now these are 1-mark questions. So as you can see at the bottom right hand corner here, it tells you that it's a 1-mark question. So this question is about elements, compounds, and mixtures. Substance A contains only one type of atom. Substance A does not conduct electricity. Which type of substance is A? So they've given you 2 information. So we're going to look at each information one after the other. The first one says that substance A contains only one type of atom. Okay, so only one type. Now, when we define what compounds and elements are, we know that compounds contain more than one type of atom. So straight away, we cannot select this as an answer because substance A has been described as having one type of atom. So that rules out compound. And then we know that an element contains only one type of atom. So we are fine with that. Mixtures contain more than one type of atom, although they are not chemically bonded. But non-metallic elements, so because it's an element, so that is also a possible answer. Okay. So now we'll go back to the second information we've been given. Substance A does not conduct electricity. So metals conduct electricity, but non-metals do not conduct electricity. So that leaves us with metallic elements. So we just want to remember that compounds are more than one type of atoms that are chemically combined. Okay, just a quick reminder. And then another reminder is that mixtures are not chemically combined. However, they also contain more than one type of atom. So not chemically combined. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and look at the second question. This is another type of question that you can get based on atomic structure and periodic table. So this time they've asked us substance B contains 2 types of atoms. Okay, so if you remember what we did on the previous page, where we said one type of atom is what you can find in elements, but 2 types, so 2 or more, will be found in either compounds or mixtures. So if we come down here, elements only contain one type of atom. So that rules out metallic elements. It also rules out non-metallic elements because again, elements contain one type of atom. So this leaves us with compound and mixtures. Now let's look at another information that can help us select the best answer. So the atoms are chemically combined together in fixed proportions. So chemically combined, okay, is used for compounds. Compounds are normally chemically combined, but mixtures, we can easily separate them. So they are not chemically combined, and that tells us then that our final answer here is compounds. And of course, that means that we've gotten the 1 mark for that. So let's look at another type of question you can be asked in this type of topic. So what is the name of the element in group 0 of the periodic table? So in another one of my videos, I'm going to take us through what a periodic table looks like in detail and how we have them in groups and in periods. But for now, the alkali metals, we find that in your group 1 and 2, okay? So that rules out that. Halogens are normally found in the group 7. Okay, those are the ones that we call the chlorine, fluorine, the bromine. Okay, so that's not group 0. Now, noble gases, are found in the group 0. Okay, so we call them noble gases, or we call them inert gases, meaning that they have a full outer shell complete, so they do not get used up in a chemical reaction. Then transition metals, those are the ones you'll find in between group 2 and group 3. Group 2 and 3, okay? So those are the ones we call the transition metals. And there's a different reason for that, which I would not go into in this topic. Okay, let's look at another question that we can be asked in this kind of topic. So here it says, which statement about the elements in group 0 is correct? Okay, so let's look at the first option. All elements in the group are very reactive. Okay, that's one option. All elements in the group form negative ions. That's another option. So to start with, that very first element in the group are very reactive. That will not be true because they have a full outer shell. Remember, when atoms are reacting, they react because they have an incomplete outer shell. Okay, so group 0 have a full outer shell, so that makes them generally unreactive. So that will be false. All elements in the group form negative ion. Again, because your group 0 have full outer shell, so they don't have a reason to gain or lose any electrons, therefore they will not be forming negative ions. Okay, now the boiling point increase down the group. Yes, that would make sense because as you go down the group, the number of shells increases. And therefore, the positive nuclear attraction is larger. Okay, and hence the increase in the boiling point. So positive nuclear attraction. And then the last option says the relative atomic mass decreases down the group. That will be false. Relative atomic mass does not decrease as you go down the group. Okay, so basically you need to really understand your periodic table properly to be able to answer these kind of questions. So if you're struggling with understanding your periodic table or the kind of information that you can draw from your periodic table, just take a look at my other videos. That should help you out. Okay, so here's another question. Neon is in group 0. What type of particles are in a sample of neon? So first of all, the fact that they've mentioned that neon is in group 0, and we already are aware that these elements in group 0, okay, have a complete outer shell, so they would mainly be atoms, okay, because they have not been involved in any reaction anyway. So elements you can find on your periodic table are referred to as atoms. Now, the only time that you can then refer to your elements as ions is when the atoms have been involved in a chemical reaction, so where they have lost or gained electrons, okay, to form ions. So in this case, a sample of neon will not be an ion because it has a full outer shell anyway, so it won't form a positive or negative ion. Then we won't refer to them as molecules. That's because, for example, we have diatomic molecules like oxygen will exist as O2, right? Chlorine will exist naturally as Cl2. Iodine will exist naturally as I2. Hydrogen will have it existing as H2 gas. So these will be molecules, but neon will not exist as a molecule. Okay, so that leaves our answer as just atoms. And then let's see if we have one more question that we can look at. So here is another really good question that you could get asked, where you'll be given a structure of, in this case, an oxide of a metal. So oxide of a metal just means that you have oxygen bonded with metal, okay, and then giving you this 3D structure that we can see here. Okay, now determine the empirical formula of this oxide. Basically, what's the smallest ratio that we have here? So this, we have a ratio of one metal to oxygen, right? And we know that oxygen is diatomic, so often written as O2. So for every one of the metal X, you have diatomic oxygen bonded to it. Okay, so down here, we just need to write 2, the subscript 2, showing us that the empirical formula is XO2. Okay, so just taking a look at it this way, we have this, right? We have this, and we have this. Okay, so the smallest or the simplest ratio formed in the bond between the metal and your oxygen gas. Okay, right, that brings us to the end of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.